What's up, all you Minties? This is the Uncanny Omar. Today, I'm going to be going over the Marvel December previews for the collected editions. So basically, just going over the Omnis, the trade paperbacks, the oversized hardcovers, and with me, I've got a couple of guests with me that are going to be helping me through. And you all are probably familiar with these guys. Curtis, if you'd like to introduce yourself and where people can find you, go ahead and plug your stuff.
Sure. I'm Curtis at the Epic Marvel Podcast, and you can find me online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I have a brand new YouTube channel that I just started, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but it should be fun.
Welcome to the world of YouTube, Curtis. I think I left you a message. I said, I hope you survived the experience.
Yes, yeah, I love it. Love the reference.
You got it, buddy. And then down here at the bottom, even though he calls himself the Omnibus collector, there's a bunch of manga. What is that? Black and white, read the wrong way stuff behind you. What's up, buddy? This is Riley.
What's up? Yeah, you can find me on the YouTubes as the Omnibus collector. I've got a video I'll be putting out in just a few hours now. So yeah, I do cover a bunch of manga and stuff, but I also talk a lot about Omnibus editions, comics, new release issues, all kinds of stuff.
Excellent, excellent, and hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's staying healthy out there. Well, we let a few more people trickle in. I just wanted to give a huge thank you to David Gabriel, all the folks at Marvel that send us images, corrected images. There is one that I'm still waiting on. If I don't get it in time, I'll just talk about. But it's a cover. And then yesterday we found out that the Hellstrom Collection is actually coming out. That was previously canceled. And I know a lot of people are worried. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Marvel's gonna go the DC route and start canceling books." Man, one book and people are already like, the sky's falling.
I know, and it was an obscure book as well. It's not like they canceled a Spider-Man or something.
And usually when things like that, I mean, it's not like Marvel hasn't canceled books before in the past. But it's just, it happens. But I mean, it seems like everybody's on the edge because of recent DC. Well, not recent, for the last couple of years, what DC has done, and just gone through a series of cancellation after cancellation. So.
What was the situation there? Do you know why it was canceled, or people thought it was canceled? Was it actually really canceled?
I think it was just off of the catalog. I don't think there's really that much. I don't think there's any like hidden situation or anything like that. Anything behind the scenes. I think it was just kind of left off, and then they put it back on though. So orders can be placed and all that.
Good, I'll get it.
As far as covers, I know people are asking, like Taylor, as far as the new cover for Aliens Omnibus to replace Greg Land's, I know nothing yet other than these are the covers that Marvel supplied us with. So that's all I know. I'm just the guy that gives you all or happy to share with you all the news and stuff.
Is there word about a replacement for Greg Land's cover?
Damn it, Riley! Did you not hear a word I just said? I said I don't know yet.
Well, I'm wondering why someone would bring it up.
Oh, because there's been whenever Greg Land is mentioned, everybody jokes about the idea that he's photo tracing and things like that. So then there's a whole Twitter thing going around right now. I'm just the guy that shows the actual art. So that's it. That's my job.
Well, you know how I feel about Land.
Yeah, you love him.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we will get started here in a second. Actually, I just got that cover for. Here's the DM variant. Let me download that real quick. See what that looks like. Huh. Okay. So, and we'll get started here in a second. Now, how's everybody doing out there? Everybody staying healthy, working from home, not on your lunch break, maybe?
I always work from home. Don't leave the house ever. Just me and my comics. Yep.
Do you do any digital, Curtis? Like when you're traveling, do you ever travel with digital?
Oh, I have Marvel Unlimited on my phone, and yeah, I make sure that there's stuff on there for me to read. And I use that because, especially when my kids well, I still have one child who I sit in the room when it's dark and I'm waiting for them to fall asleep, and I read comics that way. It's like got nothing else to do in a dark room, so I read some comics. I love digital
Gotcha.
for that.
I can't read on my phone, but more power to you. I can barely read text, so I think it's awesome that you can read on your phone. Is there King Thor OHC coming? Not in this solicits, but this is we're looking at April of 2021 for some of these releases. So pretty soon, I'm sure they're going to start building the catalog again with what's coming out in the foreseeable after these months, these first early months in 2021. So that's always exciting to see what they're building, whether it's reprints, whether it's new Omnis, new OHCs, new trade paperbacks. I know new epics from my boy Curtis, but it's always exciting to see what they decide to put on there. So, all right. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and hit that like button if you just got here. You know this stuff's exciting. It's always fun to take a first look at things. So we're gonna go ahead and start. And please let me know if I need to zoom in, zoom out. Just let me know, please, and I'll be happy.
Oh yeah, starting right off with the Greg Land.
So we have Aliens. The Aliens Omnibus. This is the original year's Omnibus. You have the standard edition cover by Land, and then you have the Nelson cover, which is the direct market cover. There is all of the content in there. So we're going through all the first couple of years of Aliens. I've talked about this when I announced the Omnibus, but if you're not familiar with the series, it literally takes place immediately after the Aliens movie. So a lot of these books were released before we even knew there was going to be an Alien 3. And then even when Alien 3 came out, they decided to keep going with this continuity, but then change some of the names. It's a lot of art in here by Sam Keith, Kelly Jones. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it's collected, what versions they use as far as the colors. But $125, 1,032 pages for the Aliens Omnibus.
Nice.
Next up, I've mentioned this, so I'm very happy to announce it. This is the Spider-Man by Roger Stern Omnibus. Again, both of these covers will be available. You have the direct market cover, and then you have the standard edition cover. Your preference, or whichever you can get. It's the exact same content as before. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man runs. How do you guys feel about this run? Do y'all like it?
I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely classic, and I feel like I guess Epics probably won't be covering this this period if they're going to reprint this in Omnibus.
Oh,
not for a while at least.
Well, I don't know, Curtis. I mean, I think they're reprinting the X-Men Omnis, and we just got that Proteus, and we're getting the Fate of the Phoenix. Yeah. So I think David has said it before that just because a book is coming out in one format doesn't affect that it won't come out in another format. And then we have the X-Men box set. So, I think we'll still get it. This is a phenomenal run. I remember when I first got this, I said this would have been perfect if they had added the Hobgoblin Lives miniseries from the 90s, which kind of wraps up the Hobgoblin mystery, which is
right.
Roger Stern came back. I have it in trade paperback, and I know it totally does not make any sense because this is stuff from the 80s, and that was like in the mid-90s, but it's just me and my wishful thinking.
And what's another 100 pages in an omnibus, really?
Well, maybe to the catalog, it would be like, no, we can't do that. You can't add pages. One that I'm very much looking forward to, and one that I've been wanting for a long time, and I'm surprised it didn't come any sooner, but I'm glad it's finally coming out, and that is All New Wolverine by Tom Taylor Omnibus.
Cool stuff.
$100 collecting All New Wolverine 1 through 35, the first annual and Generations Wolverine and All New Wolverine. There's nothing else they could have added to this to make it more perfect, I don't think. I was trying to think of what else could they have added in here, but I think it's perfect. This is the series that made me a Laura fan, because I was, the NYX and X23. and even her appearances in Uncanny X-Men, X-Force was okay. Yeah, she was okay. She was kind of a one-dimensional character. It's very difficult to grow out of that shadow of Wolverine when you're a Wolverine clone. But this series, man, with this series right here, dude, I was sold on Laura. I'm like, all right, I'm okay with this character replacing my favorite character of all time. This is that good.
I really enjoyed. She's gone through, in all those things that you mentioned, such an evolution as a character from when she first appeared till this series, and it's such a great storyline to follow, to see her growing up as a character throughout the years and then getting into this role in such a well done series. I'm super excited for this one.
I am too. I remember our buddy Jess, who's joined us for the show before. OmniDog bought all the trade paperbacks a few months ago because me and you were kind of telling him to buy them because some of them were going out of print. And actually, some of them are out of print now. So this is wonderful for all those people that have been waiting and hoping, like holding on, not buying any trades. Not for people like Curtis, who only buy trades. But now the trades will be easier to find, Curtis, so you can purchase them on the cheap because we have an omnibus.
Perfect. That's what I'll do.
I got you, man. All right, Defenders, and I do have a couple of emails about this, by the way, from people curious about the content. Apparently, the content was released on the Hachette catalog, if I'm not mistaken. And somebody found it. So here's the Defenders Omnibus, $100, 680 pages, and like we all thought it was going to be, it's the classic Defenders. So it has the Submariner 34 and 35, Marvel Feature 1, 2, and 3, Defenders 1 through 19, Giant Size Defenders 1 and 2, and Avengers 115. The Beast Story and 116 through 118. Thank you so much for the super chat. Should they reprint the Phil Collins Omnibus? I love this guy. My wife loves this guy for the Phil Collins references. So let me look here. I had an email about this. Actually, I had a message on Instagram. I had a message on Twitter and an email. Omar. Okay. So apparently this is all these three people, by the way, they're all different, not the same person. They're saying that it should have included Doctor Strange 183, Submariner 22, and Incredible Hulk 126, as that is the pre-Defenders team up.
Yep.
And I other than I will let the appropriate parties know. This is the mapping that I have. Apparently, it was collected. It was not collected in the Masterworks that way, so they were hoping that it would be collected in the Omnibus that way, that those would be included. But it is not included.
Yeah.
Let me answer this really quick.
Sure.
No NYX though on that on the all-new Wolverine, because NYX would fit better in an X-23 Omnibus.
Oh, for sure.
Because it goes NYX, right? She has the first miniseries, Uncanny X-Men, the second miniseries. Then she joins X. There's a lot of years in between NYX and All New Wolverine, so I think that would fit better in a mapping in an X-23 Omnibus. To answer that question, and go ahead, Curtis.
Oh, I was just going to say that they put a few other random issues in here, and it would make more sense to include those first three appearances. And I can't remember exactly, but I think that the people who are responsible for like the person who gets Valkyrie's body is introduced in one of those issues, I think.
In the crossover?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that she plays big in these early days of Defenders, so I don't know. Yeah.
So I don't know why they were excluded. And one of the people that messaged me on Instagram said it could be that maybe they were trying to put it on a Doctor Strange omnibus. I don't know. But I will, like I said, I'll forward that message on if it's that important, because I know that when a story is missing something that I wish they would include, I don't mind sharing that. So I get it.
Yep. And what's another 80 pages in an omnibus, right?
You keep saying that. Other than money, right?
Yeah, right.
We're gonna make this omnibus $200, and people are gonna curse the day that we wanted to add those 3 books in there. So here is Thunderbolts. We now have the solicits for this and the content, and this book is $125, 1,136 pages. So you're hearing it here first. Thunderbolts 0 through 33. Thunderbolts annual 97. I think they have the 98 annual because that was with a cap annual. Distant Rumblings, that's the -1 issue. Incredible Hulk 449, which is where they first appeared. Spider-Man Team Up number 7. Heroes for Hire number 7. Captain America, that's it. And Citizen V annual 1998. Avengers 12. And material from Tales of the Marvel Universe number 1.
Fantastic. This is such a good series.
This is all of Kurt Busiek's run, because 34 is Fabian Iciasa's first issue. This is the classics and part of Hawkeye and the Thunderbolts, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, those classics are out of print too. But here you have it all in one place. And if you've not read this, oh my God, I'm so jealous for the people that have not read this and don't know anything. And if you don't know anything about it, don't watch any videos. Don't look up what happens, because this is some of the best heroes. All you need to know is that the Marvel heroes went away for a year. Like Fantastic Four, Avengers, Cap, all those guys went away to the Heroes Reborn universe.
Yep.
And somebody needed to step up and become heroes because nobody liked mutants. So.
I think the most exciting part about this solicit is the Volume 1 label that it has.
I get super excited about that. I'm like, oh, bring on the Fabian Iciasa. Bring it on, baby.
Exactly.
I get excited about Volume 1s as well. I can't remember. Defenders had a Volume 1 as well. Yeah, Defenders Volume 1. All new Wolverine. That's complete, though, so that doesn't really need a Volume 1. But I get excited when I see those Volume 1s, too. And I know people have always made the joke, like, oh, yeah, well, my Ultimate Spider-Man and Wolverine Omnibus have Volume 1s, and they've been there alone for 10 years. We're living in different times. We never know, right? This is a different time of collecting these collected editions. So we don't know where, we might end up with a Volume 2. Look at the Peter David Hulk Omnibus. Immediately, Volume 2 got announced. Hopefully a Volume 3 sometime in 2021. Now we're going to be looking at some Marvel Masterworks. Black Panther, Volume 3 is getting a Marvel Masterworks.
Here's an example of when you say that just because it's coming out in one version doesn't mean that it's not coming out in another, because we'll see the same material in an epic later on in this same catalog.
Yeah. Because the McGregor stuff is collected later on in another epic. And they're reprinting, what was it, Volume 2 or Volume 1?
Yep. Volume 2.
Thor, The Mighty Thor, Volume 20. Oh, man, we're all the way up in the 300s now. Look at Thor. It only took him 30-something years in Masterworks format to get here. But, hey, for all those people that are being patient, it pays off. This is the Art of George Perez.
Nice.
Hardcover edition. They're not even... George Perez is so amazing that they're like, yeah, we're not going to give him a Marvel monogram. Let's give him an actual Art of George Perez hardcover, because the man deserves it.
That should be really cool. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his artwork. New Teen Titans, his run on Avengers is one of my... Actually, that is my favorite run. That's my definitive Avengers run, is this Kurt Busiek and George Perez run. And newly resolicited. So here it is, the X of Swords, now complete with everything. This is what you want to see, X of Swords. It's 648 pages now. This has to be a misprint because the direct market is missing a page. I've never seen that. But it's $100 now, so keep that in mind because it contains everything. Because the event kind of grew. Like it started small. So this is new. This is a new solicitation for this book. Coming out in January. I think the original release was supposed to be September or October. October. So even though it's a hardcover, I mean, let's face it, this is an omnibus. We all know better. 10 years from now, when they reprint it, it'll say X of Swords Omnibus on it. But it has 2 covers. It has a Mark Brooks cover, and then is that a Pepe Larraz cover? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't know the identity of who the villains are. And it's have you caught up with X-Men, Riley?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we still don't know who the villains are or anything about this run. I think it just now got started.
I can't say that I'm a fan of these covers here. They're very busy, and I don't like the placement of the logo right in the middle there. Seems like it's just kind of slapped on wherever they could get room where it wouldn't cover up a face.
If that's the truth, they should have put it up here. There's no faces up here.
They should have put it at the top.
No, have you seen the designs of the Dawn of X or House of X books?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. They are pretty cool. Like they're different. They stand out.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they try something new, but I'd find that these ones just kind of look a little odd.
I think it's the words that are throwing you off, Chris.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get that changed.
I'm not going to buy it, so it's fine.
Yeah, wait a minute. You're not even a hardcover buyer. You're the guy that buys these in trade paperback. What do you care? These will be out in Epic Collection in 2035, Curtis. So then you can complain about your cover. Astonishing X-Men, the Marvel Select line. These again are the stories that represent the characters, and they're all chosen by the editors. So for X-Men, they decided to go with X-Men Gifted, which is the first 6 issues of Astonishing X-Men.
There will never be a time when they are not reprinting this miniseries.
God Loves Man Kills would have been my choice, but I think they're just doing a gallery edition, and that book has been reprinted everywhere. But I get it. Marvel Monograph, the art of Jimmy Chung. Or Jim, sorry, Jim. Not final cover. Eternals. Is that Todd Knock? Yep, that's Todd Knock. So this is Eternals.
Nice.
Cosmic Origins. So collecting Eternals won the first 3 issues. And the Avengers Spotlight 35 and Avengers 361 and What If 23 to 28. Are those What If issues collected in the Omnibus? I can't recall if they are or not. Off the top of my head.
I think that they are, yes. They're just little backup features that are about the Inhumans.
Gotcha. And then the Eternals.
The Inhumans.
You mean the Eternals?
Yes, the Eternals. Yeah, I get them mixed up. Eternals.
Curtis, you're the historian. I have you on the show for a reason. You're embarrassing me.
I'm not that Origins one is just. It seems like such a weird. Only the first 3 issues of the Kirby run and a few odds and ends here and there. It's not telling complete stories. It's just picking little bits of issues that do. I mean, it's about their origins for sure, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
What If Omnibus? When David was in the chat one day, he said, that sounds like a good idea. When somebody was hinting at it.
Totally.
I'm pretty sure that might be the classic. So here's the Dreaming Celestial Saga. Collecting, this is the 80. I know this will be in the Omnibus.
Yep.
But this has a cover by Walter Simonson, collecting the 12 issues from 1985, Iron Man Annual 6, Avengers 248 through 249, and What If 23 through 30. The Eternals, man, these guys are getting a lot of love. This is the monster-sized book. So this is for somebody like Curtis, who only likes trade paperback formats. This book is huge, probably as big as one of your kids, and collecting the first 19. Oh no, it's collecting all of. Okay, that's all of Eternals.
Yeah, it is. Wow, that's amazing.
So if you're just a fan of the original Eternals and love Jack Kirby, this is the book for you.
I tell you, the artwork in this book is just insane. To have it huge like that would be pretty cool to look at.
I'm late. What I miss? A Dark Hawk Omnibus?
Yeah,
one
man.
day.
Volume 1 and 2.
One day. One day, my boy's gonna get some love. Eternals. It's like somebody has a movie coming out. to defy the apocalypse. This is the follow-up series to the Neil Gaiman series. I remember because this is written by the Charles and Daniel Knopf and Fred Van Lente. Those are the guys that did what was the TV show called? Was it Carnival? I think that a TV show on HBO.
Yeah. I like that show.
They had a run on
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah, that was actually pretty solid through the years of after Civil War, right?
Mhm.
And of course, man, all the Eternal stuff is being solicited in this book. The Neil Gaiman, John Romita Jr. I forgot Danny Mickey did the inks. Eternals hardcover, 256 pages, $34.99. And I agree with this statement right here. Eternals Knopf run does not get enough credit. I agree with that because I really like that run. All right, so for all you Eternal lovers or anybody curious about the movie coming out, get your wallet ready because, man, this is everything but the Eternals Omnibus. Oh, wait, we're not done. Thor, the Mighty Thor, and the Eternal Celestial Saga. This is the book that Curtis asked me to ask David Gabriel if they can make it into an epic.
Hey, I did not ask. I was trying to convince people that this was other people in the group.
You
were
spoke
definitely
for your
asking.
people in your group, and you
No
said,
way,
"Hey,
I did.
you did," and I said, "Okay, I'll ask." I was like, "I think it's already been mapped out." Anyway, we were told no.
I see the purpose in this one in particular. That why it's not in an epic collection. So they got to brand the Eternals on the cover there.
Eternals by Neil Gaiman and John Romita Jr. Is it oversized? Trim size 7/4, 10 by 7/8. I think that is. No, is that the size of a? God, I'm not good at these. I think that's oversized because these are usually 6. Yeah, 6 5/8. So I think it is oversized.
The Marvel Classic, Marvel Select book would be a regular trim. What is the size on that one?
Let's find out. Let's get past all those Eternals. That is 6 5/8, and yeah, by 10
There you go.
3/16. So that book right there. I was hoping this would be an OHC as well because it deserves it. It's that good. So this book, Eternals by Gaiman and Romita, will be oversized hardcover. Earth's Mighty is this is, man, I thought that was Secret Avengers just based on that cover.
Yeah.
Avengers by Jason Aaron, Volume 7, The Age of Khonshu. I assume that's how you say it. Wow, Omar, over 400 people in the chat. Yeah, don't forget to hit like, please, if you are watching this and enjoying this. And I'll be happy to go back here in a little bit or answer any questions that I can answer that I know the answer to. And if I can't, these guys will know the answer. That's why I have them on with me. Immortal Hulk. I love that these covers don't reveal anything, but this is the poster book by Alex Ross.
That's a good poster.
The covers. Huh. Okay, there's the Immortal Hulk book. Volume 8, The Keeper of the Door. I'm not even going to read. I'm just going to say it collects issues 36 through 40. I am enjoying the hell out of this series.
Yeah, this is a good one. And
for anybody that hasn't read it, man, it's so good. Read and trade paperback, digital. Wait, you're in the wrong show if you're reading digitally. Oversized hardcovers, how I recommend it. It's wonderful. Black Cat, Volume 3, All Dressed Up. Jeffrey Scott Campbell cover. And this is the 3rd volume, I think. Yeah, volume. Damn it, I just said volume 3. What's wrong with me? Black Cat 11 through 12 and annual number 1. Is this series over, Riley?
I don't recall. I was about to just mention I'm surprised that it's lasted this long.
But
I don't remember
that's a sad statement, but it's true. Because
I read the first 3 issues and stopped. So it didn't do anything for me.
I like the artwork a lot.
I've enjoyed the first few issues. Was Travel Foreman, wasn't it, Omar? The artwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that artwork.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's just, it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, like every month when it comes out, like everyone needs to be reading Black Cat. And the most intriguing thing about it is how it's lasted at least a year. I'm trying to see if it's still ongoing.
Okay, so Nicholas is saying it's on hiatus. It's coming back during the King in Black event. So there you have it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The last issue had a teaser at the end about that.
That it's coming back?
Yes, specifically in that event.
Okay, so this is Spider-Man right here, Bloodline. This is the J.J. Abrams with his son, Henry Abrams, and it's got a cover by Sarah Pichelli. That is not the direct market cover. That's what I had to wait for. This contains all 5 issues of the miniseries, $17.99. I've only read the first issue. It caught my interest, introducing a new character. But this is what the direct market cover looks like.
Oh, weird.
It's pretty interesting.
It's been on a hiatus for a minute, hasn't it?
I've only read the first issue. So
I've read the first 3, I think, and I keep waiting for more to come out, and I don't know if I've just missed it or something. But
I think it's
take their
been
time
on hiatus.
Oh. This is scheduled to come out in January, so
they've got a few more months to finish it up.
Yeah.
But without giving any spoilers, what did you all think about the first issue? Because that's the one that most people were talking about. Because that's the one I read. Because I didn't want it spoiled for me.
It's intriguing, but it's hard to really rate these like alternate type of stories like that until I see everything that happens, because usually the whole punch of it comes in the last couple issues. And really, you know, if it's a good one, then you'll wind up being there like, okay, yeah, I hope that they return to this and do more in this universe. But if it's not, then it just falls flat by the end of it.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Because that first issue introduced, you know, something big that I'd hope they go back and touch on.
Yeah.
Dawn of X is getting another trade paperback, volume 11. So they're continuing these anthologies. Collecting new... No, you don't. It's not busy at all. Wait, you might like that cover. New Mutants 10 and 11, Excalibur 10, Hellions 2 and 3, and material from Wolverine #1. And holy crap, are you caught up with most of this stuff, Riley?
Yeah, I'm 100% caught up.
Dude, I'm not going to spoil anything.
I'm so behind.
All right, this will be available in epic format in another 10 years. Curtis, you can catch up then, and we can have the same conversation.
This is stuff I've been reading on my phone, but there's just it comes out so fast that and much of it that I can't keep up.
There's a lot. Oh man, Hellions.
Yeah,
that first issue of Hellions. First of all, you're gonna bring Nanny and Orphan Maker back. I'm in. I'm like, who remembers those characters besides? I think the last time I saw them was in Scott Lobdell's Gen X series.
Yep,
but
I love that issue.
Holy crap! The ending of that issue and the death had me like, what? That's awesome.
I'm really loving about the Dawn of X line in general is how individualized every series really is. Like whenever, because there was a big kind of concern that they were oversaturating the X-Men franchise because there's so many X titles that are hitting at this time. And especially when we saw like Hellions was coming and X Factor is coming, but they really have very different creators on every book who are telling very different stories using very different characters so that no 2 books feel too similar to one another.
Yet it all feels like it's part of the same universe.
Yes. Yeah. It all
which is nice.
You're rewarded if you read everything, but it's not something where if you don't read everything that you'll be completely lost. Because
there are times in X-Men without this is a freaking rabbit hole, so I need to be quick about this. There are times in X-Men where it feels like a creator comes on and they're like, yeah, this is X-Men and you don't need to read anything else. Like new X-Men, for example, even Astonishing to an extent, right? It's like the creators come on and you don't need to read anything else to understand what's happening. With this, you don't need to, but it's so much better when you're finding out what's going on in Marauders or what Wolverine is up to, or, or in X-Force. Oh, man, I love the Dawn of X era. It's been fun to read X-Men again. And I'm not saying every series is a hit. I'm not saying every issue is wonderful. It's just fun to read X-Men again every month. Falcon and Winter Soldier cut off one head. This is a miniseries, 5-issue miniseries collected here. Hawkeye Freefall, Matthew Rosenberg, and Otto Schmidt. I've not heard of this series. It's a 6-issue miniseries.
It's if you like Hawkeye, if you like the fast-paced action type stuff and a little bit of comedy in there, it scratches that itch.
Gotcha. Marvel Zombies Resurrection. I could have sworn this book. Nope. I was thinking about
the first
original.
issue of this one just came out, and I am not so sure about it.
Philip Kennedy Johnson. I don't know who that is.
I've read a couple things from him, but nothing's really like pushed me to want to follow his work. But I'm like admitting I've read every single Marvel Zombies miniseries and every single issue and stuff, and this one is trying to take it completely. I know it does, Omar. This series is trying to take that all into like a completely different direction than all the stuff that like Kirkman and Van Lente were doing, and I don't know that it's working. But it's only been one issue.
See, I was a fan of the Van Lente stuff. I was not a fan of the Kirkman stuff at all.
Loved the Van Lente stuff. Does not get appreciated enough.
So no, it doesn't. That should have been an omnibus. Just the characters he was using. You know, he was doing the same thing that like Peter David does or John Ostrander did. Not does. You know, just using these C-class characters that nobody cared about and putting them in this universe that made it a lot of fun. But I was a big fan of that series. Yeah, Kirkman's series was fun, but Arrow Volume 2, which means we're also getting Swordmaster Volume 2. So I've read the first volume of these two because my wife was wanting me to check it out because she read them when they came in. Like I had an advanced copy of them. They were surprisingly really fun. Like I was expecting them to read like a manga. But Greg Pak, I think he co-wrote it or did the translations. I can't remember. But they were both really fun series. So I'm glad that they're still continuing them. I guess when you have covers like that, you expect them to read like a manga.
You start reading backwards on accident?
No, and it's not backwards. Star Wars, Dr. Afra. Volume 1. This is the new series by Alyssa Wong. I've not read any of this. So issues 1 through 5. Has this started already?
Yeah, it's been fine so far.
Okay.
People who are already a fan of the character and her ongoing previous series will have fun reading this one.
Okay.
The cover is great. I love that it's mimicking that vintage Star Wars look.
Like
the old toys.
Yep.
Here's a question from Oversized Comics. I figured it'd be a good time to ask right now. Omar, do you think we will ever see a reprint of the Darth Vader Omnibus? Yeah, I do. It gives me hope when I see Dr. Afra getting an Omnibus. And we recently had the second oversized hardcover of Darth Vader come out. So I hope that gets an omnibus and maybe they'll reprint Volume 1. I like to see that stuff sell because I really enjoy it. All right, here we go. Speaking of reprints, we got a couple that Curtis and I got to announce a few weeks ago. Avengers West Coast Volume 1. Now, the first printing of this, was that the quad...
Yeah, it really was. It was one of the worst books printed by Quad Graphics. It had so many issues with it, and it's very, very good that this is getting a new printing because it was just terrible. There are some people who like when you're reading it, literally chunks of pages were falling out, and there's even some cases where pages were not included in the book. And it's not as weird thing is this. It wasn't line wide. It was just like some cases. Your pages were falling out. In some cases, they weren't even there in the first place. In some cases, the black line screen, the black screen wasn't printing on like 16 pages, so you couldn't read any of the words or see the pictures very well. And minimal glue used in the spine, and the covers are curling. And like I remember
the cover curling. People complain. Wait, do I have? No, I don't have this one. I was gonna say I thought I had this one, but they only. I think what did they do? They did like 4 to 6 books. I think is all they did.
Yeah, well, they did a number that weren't even Epic collections. They're probably about, I don't know, a dozen or more that were affected, but only within a like 2 or maybe like a 2-month window, and then Marvel put a stop to it as fast as they could.
With a 2-month window, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Curtis. When these things, in 10 more years, when people start getting ridiculous and CGCing their trade paperbacks and omnibus, those quad books are going to be worth thousands of dollars, and you're going to regret the day that you replaced your
well, they're all first printings,
so. Right.
Yep.
The Goblins Last Stand. This one I'm so glad to see on here because I remember. I think this went out of print within like 2 months' time, if not a lot quicker. This was insane. This is when I figured, oh, crap, more people are reading Epic Collections. Good for them.
Yeah. And it stayed out of print for a long time.
Yeah,
like
it did.
A number of years. But it's one of the most highly asked for reprints.
I know. I used to get asked about this one a lot, so I'm so glad that it's back. Now everybody knows. These are, by the way, we announced this when we were talking about the Epics. These are no longer going to be exclusive to comic book shops. Marvel is going to release these worldwide, these reprints. So that's a lot better for a lot of my people overseas that have a hard time not being around a comic book store. That rely heavily on shopping online. Chris Claremont's and John Byrne's classic Days of Future Past is getting a new printing, containing issues 138 through 141, and then, of course, Uncanny X-Men, when the title officially changes, 142 and 143, and the annual number 4. They're putting in the aftermath of the Dark Phoenix saga, the Nightcrawler Wendigo story, and where Wolverine changes his costume for the first time. To that brown and gold, because he was mourning over Jean's death. And here we go, Curtis. Black Panther Epic Collection, Panther's Prey. Man, it's been how long has it been since the last volume came out of Black Panther Epic Collection?
Couple of years, I think 2018 or so was the last one. So it's been a few years. Yep.
Hold on. Roberto Rodriguez. About 10 years ago, Marvel released an oversized hardcover called X-Men Days of Future Past. It is the only place you can find Days of Future Present in oversized format. It's that crossover event throughout the Fantastic Four, New Mutants, when everybody thought Cable was Ahab. Anyway,
I'm surprised that Future Present isn't in that trade that you just.
I thought so too. But in that oversized hardcover, there's also the Wolverine miniseries, Days of Future Present, or Days of Future Past. Panther Omnibus, when? What an awesome question. I can assure you that we'll get one. I don't know when, though. I know nothing more than you guys do. I don't know when, but we'll get one. Hulk Epic Collection Volume 5. Who will judge the Hulk? Continuing this amazing early run of Hulk, we have way surpassed the first Omnibus. No signs of them doing any more, so that's why I sold mine years ago and decided to go the epic route for some of my characters. I just love this stuff, man. So Roy Thomas, Archie Goodwin, Harlan Ellison, that's right.
Yep, that's right.
So Hulk 138 through 156 and Avengers 88.
Some early Claremont there too, I think.
Was there? I don't know. I don't remember. This is a part of Hulk that's a big gap in my collection. So
yeah, me too. The Volume 4 is fantastic. So if Volume 5 continues up that.
Volume 4 started like the every issue we're going on a different location saga. I love that about Hulk. Song of the Bellet. Conan Epic Collection Volume 6. This is the Brian Wood stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yep.
Collecting Conan the Barbarian, the 2012 series, 7 through 25. This was never collected in the Colossal Conan, was it, Riley? This is the stuff that happens after Colossal Conan, if I'm not mistaken, because it goes
a lot more recent.
Because it goes Conan the Cimmerian, King Conan, and then this, and then there's some stuff in between Colossal Conan and Cimmerian, like the road to the King or something like that. That stuff will be available.
I was listening to a Conan audiobook the other day, and they pronounced it Cimmerian, Conan the Cimmerian. And I was like, I've never heard it pronounced that way before.
I usually pronounce that one, and I'm known for butchering names, but because of the movies and the animated show.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Omar, I just looked on Amazon in my bookcase, and I realized I already have it. Welcome to my world, dude. I do that all the time. This should be released in some kind of format that I already have on my bookshelf. Wolverine, the Frank Cho Savage Land Saga, 1 through 5. I want to say that this one this one got a standard hardcover edition, I think.
Mm-hmm. That was when they started doing the hardcovers without dust jackets.
That's right. Yeah, and then it was straight paperback edition. This series isn't that old. I want to say it's like what 5-6 years old.
It's from the onset of Marvel now.
Yeah. Captain America Sam Wilson Complete Collection. There's been one guy, and I cannot remember who you are, but here you go, buddy. This is what you've been waiting for.
This finishes up the series, right?
I think so. Yep, it's got issue
24. Yeah,
and then it comes back with Captain America, and it's got the Generations Captain America. I really like this series.
So I wonder, will they then also do one for the
Nick Spencer stuff?
The other side of it with Steve
Rogers.
Oh, right. I don't know, because Remender never got a complete collection, did he? He never got fat trades. He just got small trade paperbacks.
Only the last miniseries that he did wound up in the first Sam Wilson collection.
Yeah. You all have no... Is something going on with Ghost Rider? I have no... In the last 2 months, people have been joking about this and hitting me up about this. Like, is there a secret cult about Danny? And it's not even Johnny Blaze. A lot of people specifically want Danny Ketch. They're like, the one that I hear about is, Omar, can you please ask David Gabriel to give us Danny Ketch Ghost Rider in either Omnibus or Epic format?
Hey, all of us 40-year-old guys grew up with Danny Ketch, man.
Danny Ketch is my Ghost Rider too, but I just find it so random. Like, did everybody like Johnny Blaze? Are they not reading anymore? Or are they just happy with their 2 masterworks they have? Because it just out of nowhere, they started coming and asking me these questions.
Well, I don't know if it started in my group or so, but people were like, we're getting Morbius before we're getting Ghost Rider, like comparing the 2 horror titles of the 70s, right? Gotcha. And that's where that kind of, we just took that and I made a bunch of memes about it and whatever.
Well, I will tell you this. I made this joke to David a while ago when the Venom Epic collection was coming out. Reading Venom and Epic, this feels like when you talk about classic rock and people are talking about 90s rock. That's what it feels like.
Hearing Nirvana on the classic rock station.
Right. And I'm like, oh my God, this is happening to comics. Venom is an epic. Pretty soon we're going to have, epics of all these Darkhawk. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm more for it, but I feel old.
Yeah, yep.
Omar, have you talked to David about the Conan by Busick Omnibus orphaning a ton of issues? No, I haven't, and I normally do talk to David about orphaning issues. The reason I haven't was that actually makes sense because Truman wrote those issues, and if they want to continue that, then it would be cool if they have a Truman Omnibus. So that's why I haven't asked, because if they want to continue the Dark Horse stuff in Omnibus format, then they can have a Truman Omnibus. And that's the stuff that leads into the Sumerian. Or what was it called again?
Cimmerian.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's right or not, but I just found it interesting.
I would be all in on the Darkhawk epics. No. Wait, y'all haven't even thought about this until I started thinking about this. And can you all imagine, and for people our age, like we're in the 30s, 40s, 50s. I think anybody had the gimmick covers that they were using in the 90s. Like, if ever comes a time when Marvel does do a Ghost Rider Omnibus, can you imagine if they do a variant with the glow-in-the-dark cover from issue, 16?
That would be awesome.
Oh my God, dude. People would flip. People would be like, I'm spending all my money trying to find people overseas that normally cannot get these direct market covers will be flying over to the States just to get those. Or Wolverine, Wolverine with the die cut cover, like with the claws from number 50. Oh my God, dude.
One of my favorite covers is Continuity Comics from Neil Adams. They did so many weird gimmick covers. Like, that was their thing. And one of them was a gatefold cover. There's a character called Monolith, and he's like Giant Man. He grows really tall. And instead of a gatefold going this way, it was a gatefold that went this way. It was just bizarre.
I remember the cards from Continuity Comics. Yeah. And there was a gimmick with those too. Scarlet Witch is getting a complete collection. This is the James Robinson run. This is a really good run that I wish this was oversized hardcover, but then again, I wish the Vision and Scarlet Witch had been released in oversized hardcover, but man, what an awesome run! If you've not read this,
So many good artists. That is such a good run. Every issue has another amazing artist on there. I think it has some of the last work by Steve Dillon also.
Let's see.
Yeah, he is in the credits.
He's in the credits, but just looking at this, and James Robinson, and James Robinson is a guy that, I never hide the fact that Starman is one of my favorite comics of all time. But it seems like after Starman, whenever there's some comics that he did, Looking at You, JLA,
Cry for Justice.
Cry for Justice, that I was like, well, maybe Robinson isn't as good anymore. But this restored my faith in him. This was such a good series. So who knows? Maybe depends on sales and everything. We'll get a Scarlet Witch oversized hardcover one day. Captain Marvel is getting a Marvelverse. These are those little graphic novel size and smaller trades that showcase different eras of Captain Marvel. I really like the first couple of issues of this, and this is Strange Academy. Has this series been canceled?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, good. So it's still continuing. Good.
I sure hope not, because it's so good.
So, Strange Academy First Class graphic novel. This is, again, the smaller size trades. So, that is it. Let me know what you all want me to go back and touch on, what you all want to see again. And what about you guys? Out of all this, what are you most excited for? That's what I can ask both of you.
Well, the last time I was on with you, I was talking about the possibility of an Alien Omnibus, and now I'm on here with it in the solicits. So that's a crazy.
Very cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you joked about Alf. So that better not come. That better not come.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't love Alf? All of us 40-year-old guys who watch
Cats don't love Alf.
The Alien Omnibus alternate cover should be Alf. He's the alien we all actually want.
That's right. I'd be interested. Aliens is one of my favorite movies, but I've never read any of the comics. So
they're awesome.
Stuff,
how much? Okay, Aliens is one of your favorite movies.
Sorry, Alien,
right.
The first one.
But what did you think of the second one?
The second one I love as well, but not as much as I love the first one. I mean, I love the whole franchise.
Wow.
I mean, I every time one of those movies comes out, I'm there in the theater watching it. But I just love the first one because it was just so new. Okay, I pulled this out of storage just the other day. I got to show you this.
Is it Alf?
It's Alf. Hold on a second.
Oh my God.
Alf Annual number 2, cover by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Oh, okay, that's actually cool. But you know what? Even Bill cannot make a freaking Alf Omnibus happen. Please, no Alf Omnibus. Thank you. So if you like Alien and you loved Aliens, that's usually the way it goes. The comics are freaking awesome because it takes place after Aliens.
Yeah.
And you know how much Alien 3 ripped our heart out and just mushed in our faces? The comics will make you feel better about the characters that did not die off screen. Yes, Alf Omnibus. Y'all gonna be trolling, and then the next list is I'm gonna have an Alf Omnibus, and everybody's gonna be like, Marvel's so stupid. Why did they do that?
And then no one's gonna buy it, and then David's gonna be like, I'm never listening to you guys again.
I was like, I'm not even the one that said it. Yeah. So for me, the most oh man, this is hard because I can't choose between Thunderbolts or All New Wolverine. I think I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for All New Wolverine. It's the one that I was pushing, and Thunderbolts is a close second. Curtis, which epic are you most excited for?
I'm really looking
collection.
Well, yeah, I mean it's definitely the epics. But yeah, the Black Panther stuff I'm really interested for. I'm actually really excited to read more Eternals because it's a corner of the universe that I've never really explored at all. So I got the Eternals complete collection, and we'll pick up some of those other Eternals that we saw in this set right here today.
We need more Wolverine Omnibus. We do, because that Volume 1 is getting lonely, right? Well, I think Wolverine Omni sold really well, so I guess we'll see. We'll see what Marvel decides to do with that. Maybe they sold well and they're like, oh, we'll make a volume 2, or maybe it sold so well that they'll make an Alpha Omnibus. Who knows?
Alf Epic Collections. Come on.
If there's a hold on, this is a good comment. If there's an Alpha Omnibus before it grew Omnibus, I am done. Right?
Yeah. Depends on which one Disney buys first.
We need more Power Pack Omnibus. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Wolverine Omnibus is already sold out on IST. It's already sold out on Diamond. That's what we want to see.
Wow.
It's gone. So hopefully, it's sold well. Let's see. The Defenders, I'll ask about those missing issues because I've had more than 3 people ask me about those and see what happens. Do you think Amazing Spider-Man by JMS will be in normal format? No, it's not. I can assure you. At least this restock of the books are not. They are in normal. They are in the flat spine category. Excited for X of Swords. Me too. But when you have Thunderbolts and all new Wolverine Omnis in here, those are the books I'm excited for.
Mm.
So Curtis is excited for all 10 volumes of Eternals coming out. You're gonna be all Eternal,
all 10
brother.
of them. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, but there's so much double dipping. It's amazing.
Hey Omar, do you know when the Untold Tales of Spider-Man reprint's coming out? I think that one was solicited for March, if I'm not mistaken. Is David a fan of Star Wars? Any outlook on a Vader by Gillen reprint? He's a fan of Fantastic Four. And we are celebrating Fantastic Four's, what? Oh my goodness. Is it 60, 70 years next year, right? 61?
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow.
Yeah. So we're also celebrating Captain America's anniversary next year. So who knows what that might mean. So is Wolverine Omnibus totally gone? It is just out of print at Diamond. You can still find it places, though. And speaking of places, you can check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. That's our official sponsor, where you can get most of these books as they come out, when they come out. They put up new books every week on Monday evening if you want to check it out. If you feel like you might miss out on a book. And that is cheapgraphicnovels.com. Somebody was asking, is Infinity Gauntlet still coming? And in October. It is. I've got an advanced copy of it. I need to do an overview of sometime. But I'm waiting for other books that are supposed to come out this week. The whole, I'm sure I don't have to tell anybody, everything has been pushed back, and printing and all that is kind of just it's finally starting to catch up. Like, we have some new dates coming out for some books. I think there were a couple of delays, right, Curtis? I don't know if you keep up with for some epics. I know there's some delays in some epics this month, just a week or so, if I'm not mistaken. Nothing bad, like next month or anything. Cloak and Dagger Omnibus is phenomenal. Right. I thought that the direct market cover of Cloak and Dagger was going to be gone. And I think it is now. How about a Matt Fraction and Kieran Gillen's Uncanny X-Men Omnibus? How about we get an X-Men by Chris Claremont Reloaded first? Or Revolution. Or no, they did Revolution. We need a reload. It's when he came back the second time around. Let's see. Hold on one second. Somebody was asking about, but when the new printing sold out this week curve. So, he's talking to. Did anyone die during Omnigeddon on IST yesterday? It was insane. All those books. You guys are crazy. How did everybody do? Riley, did you get your books you wanted?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't get shafted on anything.
Good deal.
I think everything was a lot better than the worst. I mentioned this somewhere, but the worst date on IST ever was when the first Power Rangers hardcover came out. There was so much stuff, and the site, it took me about 30 minutes to get through everything. I was also at work at the time, so that made it worse, but this was nowhere near that.
I know it died for a lot of people, so I don't know. They need a Secret Wars box set with all Battle World and War Zones books. There's my boy Trigonosis throwing ideas. I am disappointed. I miss Wolverine after all this. Oh, you can still get it, right? One of these weeks, I needed to wait until payday. Oh man, I'm sure you can get it, dude. It's still available. Oh, Nelson's asking Curtis, what did you pick up at the Indigo sale, Nelson or Curtis?
I pre-ordered 3 epics. I don't remember which ones they are. West Coast Avengers, New Mutants, and one other. I don't remember. Whatever the 3 most new. Maybe it was Silver Surfer. That's the only way that a lot of us Canadians can get epic collections for as cheap as you guys in the United States, is when Indigo has a buy 2 get 1 free sale every couple of months.
Yeah, I know those prices get ridiculous. But you know what? You guys have really good health care, so life balances it all out.
It's true. That's true.
What's my epic going to do with me if I don't have insurance here in America? Wait, I'll trade you my 10 rare epics. Good night. Good night to you as well. We need more Ghost Rider Omnis. We've got one, and it's not even the one that everybody thought was going to be the first Ghost Rider Omnibus. Who remembers New Warriors? You are in the wrong group, Jack. Every one of us remembers. Every one of us remembers the New Warriors, brother. No original Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2 Omnibus. When's that coming out? That is February, I think. We went over the solicits of that a couple of months ago. Hey, Omar, is Longbow Hunters completely sold out, or will there be more? I will say that it is completely gone at Diamond. I have no idea how to... I can't check Midtown Comics or Lunar. So... if you haven't gotten it, your best bet is maybe they have it. Are Silver Surfer and She-Hulk still getting restocked? Yes, I thought I went over those dates. I'll go over all those dates on Saturday, what I have so far. FF can be epic 200 as I have 155. No way am I missing 45. I demand a recount. Brian, you already have 155. Brian, you just went down that road like 3 months ago, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. Every single day, pretty much, he posts pictures of the stuff that he's getting in the mail, and it's like, here's another 5 epics.
Wow. What omnibus are surprised hasn't been printed? Are we surprised? Either at Marvel or DC. DC? Man of Steel. I'll take that to my grave. Marvel has done a lot, but what book has not been reprinted from Marvel? Riley, what do you think? What's a book that Marvel hasn't done?
As far as Omnis go?
Yeah.
Well, I have the ones in my head that I would love to see that I know would never happen, like Red Hulk and Incredible Hercules.
Wait, they've done a Red Hulk. You're talking Red Hulk by Jeff Parker.
Right. Yeah.
Generation X, man. Come on.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true. Generation X needs one. X Factor. If we're talking about X books, I have an entire notebook full of maps.
But he's asking, what are you surprised? Like, as far as like popularity, I don't think Gen X. I'm not saying Gen X.
You're right.
Like, if you're what's surprised that Marvel or DC has not done? And I'm
Probably,
being serious. Man of Steel from DC. With Marvel, I have to think about that because they've done just about everything.
Yeah, that's why that's a hard one to think on.
I got it.
Black Panther when the movie came out.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great answer. I'm thinking either Civil War or House of M. I can't believe we don't have those in omnibus format. Just because I know those are popular stories, despite of what I feel about them. And I know that a lot of people have missed out on them. That or Superior Spider-Man, but I think I lean more towards Civil War just because of the popularity.
Well, Superior Spider-Man's still so recent that it, I don't think it's a surprise that we don't have an omnibus, because that could still come soon.
I raise you an all-new Wolverine, Curtis.
Right. There you go.
What I'm saying, it surprised. How about this? It surprised me we didn't get one. Because I refused to buy those oversized hardcovers, and then 2 years after they came out, I was like, I need to buy those because I don't think we're gonna get an omnibus.
I think more surprising to me from Marvel is some of the orphaned stuff, like New Avengers and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Volume 2.
Yeah, more so than something that just hasn't had an omnibus yet. But I would agree with Curtis 100% that it's very surprising we don't have a Black Panther. But I feel like that one should be happening.
Yeah, I think that one is definitely that. I think a second movie gets announced. Whatever route they decide to go is they'll end up with 2.
The question is, what do they decide to release? Do we do like a classic with all the stuff?
I think it'll be both.
Or do we have Priest?
I think it'll be both. I think it'll be a classic. And I don't know which one I would pick, either Priest or as I like Priest more, but I realize that Hudlin is a lot easier to get into, like his Black Panther. So I think that might be the route they go.
If they do a classic one, it's just such a it becomes such a hodgepodge because it's a bunch of short runs that get kind of mushed together.
But they did the same thing with Black Widow. I mean, there's no they could do a Black Panther very similar to just put in those first couple of epics, right?
Yep.
Oh, what about Coates though? His run on Black Panther has been awesome too.
And it's ending pretty soon too. I think it'll be about 50 issues total.
Well, there you have it. Those are our answers as best as we could answer them. I got here late. Can you go over? I'm surprised there wasn't an OHC for Spencer. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised we never got Rick Remender's Captain America in any hardcover format.
Yeah,
that was another big surprise with his name. And I know it's his run. You know, it's some people love it, some people aren't fans of it, but it's still Rick Remender.
Yeah, his name was. I thought what would sell it. Pretty much right after his run ended, wrapped up and stuff. And it's such the perfect size to go into something like that too.
Just pre-order Inferno Omnibus and X-Man 2. You are doing the world a favor by pre-ordering those books. Thank you, sir. Fun fact, Coates and Chadwick Boseman went to college together. That's awesome. Wade by Doctor Strange. Hell, there's enough material for a Wade Omnibus now. I think his series just wrapped up, right? Surgeon Supreme.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was digging that series. As far as OHCs for Hickman, yes, we have the X of Swords coming out in January. Here it is right here. 648 pages. And I'm sure the Dawn of X books are going to map around this. And we'll take a couple more questions here in the chat. Jerry Duggan, Uncanny Avengers Omnibus. That was a good run. You know, if they wanted to make a James Robinson Scarlet Witch Omnibus, they could put in the Remender Astonishing X-Men books. Or Astonishing Avengers. Uncanny Avengers, damn it. I'll get the title right.
I was sitting there like, what are you...
Uncanny Avengers, the 6 issues that were left out of his first Omnibus. And throw in Axis, too, if you want.
Well, there's enough Avengers by Remender that could just be its own omnibus. If you have Uncanny Avengers Volume 2, Axis, Secret Avengers, and the Rage of Ultron graphic novel.
Oh, I forgot about Rage. Yeah, you're right. Is there any news on any more Marvel Treasury editions? Not in this solicitation. Not in this solicitation. Greg Rucka, Punisher Omnibus, right? With that Chichetto artwork? That would be awesome. Secret Warriors Omnibus reprint. That's one that I hear often, too. So, gentlemen, while we're wrapping up, where can people find you all, in case they missed it towards the beginning?
You can find me at epicmarvelpodcast.com. I have a new YouTube channel. If you search for Epic Marvel Podcast on YouTube, you should be able to find that. And got a few things up there right now. Hopefully a few more coming soon and on a regular basis now that my kids are going back to school. So I'll have a quiet house again. And then, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and search for the Epic Collection Obsession group on Facebook and join our conversation.
And I am on YouTube as the Omnibus Collector. I do 3 videos a week. Tuesdays are manga days. Thursdays I talk about new single issues. that I've read and are excited about. And then every Friday I do a video about comics, Western comics and stuff like that. So omnibus wish lists, stuff like that. So check out my channel. If you are into the stuff that Omar does over here, you'll definitely love what I do on that.
Yes. If you like
Thanks,
what Omar
Omar.
does, you'll love what I do. It's a heck of a pitch. And I'm also on the Omnibros live episodes on Mondays. Usually is one of the day I can sneak in and take some time to do it when I'm not hanging out here on my own channel making content just about. No, every day. And yes, Chichetto needs more praise. At this moment, I just want to remind you all to please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And check out these guys' channels. Omar, do you think any of the Dawn of X stuff will be collected in OHC or just the big events? Should I go and hunt? This is a question I get on a daily basis, Joe, and I'm not going to lie. I think it will be. It just won't be for a while. Because I'm sure they're either waiting for Hickman to finish out his run so they can start mapping things properly. And so I'm hoping that they do. I'm pretty sure they will. And Omar, I am not a boomer. I'm a Gen X, man. And hit that like. Yes, please. And on that, let's go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, everybody. Oh, wait, I do have to answer this. Any chance? I will tell you this much whenever people ask me is there any chance for a reprint? I always say yes. It's just a matter of when. And maybe a movie sometimes pushes these things. So there you have it.
Or you can buy the Venom Epic Collection, which is going to reprint the same material.
There you go. There's Curtis plugging the Epic format. Hola, Omar. Do you guys reread your comics all the time? I have a show every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's Old Reader, New Reader. The whole reason I started that show is because I was tired of looking at my shelves and randomly picking out comics. Now I have a purpose to pick out these books from my shelf again and reread them. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and I will catch you. Well, I'll have a video tomorrow, and I will catch you on my live on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thank you to David and all the folks at Marvel for sending us the advanced solicits.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody have a wonderful day and stay healthy, stay safe out there.